Chapter 45, The Most Thankful Thursday Ever. As I felt the recurring cancer nightmare swirling around me, I tried to maintain an attitude of gratitude. Expressing gratitude had been key to battling cancer before, so I thought that it would be a good idea to start writing about some of the things that I was thankful for. I felt that maybe it would help take my mind off the present situation. Since my blog had been a large part of my healing process, I decided to start a series of posts, which I titled my Thankful Thursday series. Not original, I know, but how can you not pair thankful and Thursday together? It just makes sense. My Thankful Thursday post became a wonderful way for me to reflect on my life and express gratitude for the incredible blessings that God had given me. As I wrote each post, I discovered that the hard times didn't seem so harsh and the good times felt a lot more delightful. The Thursday after my PET scan, I was keeping my fingers crossed that I would be able to have some great news to write about. I arose that morning after a restless night of tossing and turning. Although I had not slept well, my bed still provided a warm cocoon of comfort, so it was hard for me to drag myself out of it. There was one thing that helped me rise and face the day. I knew that in just a few hours, I would have the opportunity to spend time in one of the most beautiful places on earth, the temple. More than anything, I needed the renewal of the spirit that I knew I could feel by being in the temple. Quote from my journal. Day 768. I can't even describe to you the amount of relief I feel at this moment. This morning I was a basket case. I called the cancer center right at 9 a.m. and left a message to have someone call me with the PET scan results. Then I had to leave my phone in the car while we went into the beautiful, bountiful temple. I'm so happy to have had the opportunity to spend time in the temple today. I was trying to let the Spirit calm my troubled heart. I bawled as I walked past pictures of Christ. I so desperately wanted this nightmare to be over. After we were done in the temple, we rushed out to the car. I was in a dilemma. I wanted to check my phone, but I also didn't want to check my phone. I wanted to have missed a call, but I didn't want to have an "I'm sorry, but we found cancer" message. There was no missed call. So again, the anxiety and depression began to creep in. I was desperately trying to keep up a happy facade because it was such a beautiful occasion. We were attending a wedding. But I really just wanted to be home in my bed, curled up in a ball, trying not to think about dumb cancer. After the temple, we went to lunch with some of Mark's family. We were enjoying gigantic chunks of fresh cornbread when my phone started to vibrate in my lap. My oncologist's office was calling. This was it. The moment I've been waiting for and dreading for 2 weeks. I answered the call and stepped outside. It was Rick, the PA. My doctor is still out of town. Rick was happy to inform me that no cancer showed up on the PET scan. I could not believe it. I was so sure that he was going to be telling me that there was a tumor. The rest of the conversation is kind of a blur. I remember him saying that he would talk to Dr. Chandermully when he gets back in town next week. He also said that we would have to watch a spot on my right lung, which is probably just scarring from radiation, but still something that should be watched. Then he thanked me because he said it was the best phone call he had made all week. I'm sorry to all of the people he had to make bad phone calls to, but I am overjoyed that my phone call was a good one. End quote. The power of one phone call continued to amaze me. With that simple call, I was immediately put back on the track with beautiful scenery. The detour track that we had taken had been a huge jolt of fear for all of us, especially my brave little munchkins. I know that any amount of anxiety that I had felt was small in comparison to what they had probably been feeling, and that made my heart hurt. From the very beginning of the journey, I had included them in the loop as much as possible. I made sure they had ample time to ask questions, cry on shoulders, and be supported in whatever they needed. Looking back, I wish that I wouldn't have let them know about the whole "is the cancer back" scare, at least not until I had definite answers. I did not realize until after the fact just how much anxiety it had created for them, particularly for my sweet Emma. She happened to call me from school shortly after I found out the PET scan results. Ever the worrier, she was calling to make sure it was okay for her teacher to put some hydrocortisone cream on her itchy bug bite. I told her that it was absolutely okay to do, but before she hung up, I said, "Hey Emma, guess what?" "What?" she replied. "The doctor just called me and told me there's no cancer. Isn't that awesome?" I said. There was complete silence on her end, followed by some sniffles. I could tell that her tender little heart was bursting. That, of course, was more than my mother's heart could take, and I started crying as well. I love you, sweetheart, I choked out. I will see you after school. That was the conversation as I knew it. Later, her teacher told me what she had witnessed. She told me that during that phone conversation, Emma's countenance completely changed. After she hung up, she crumbled, and Mrs. Benedict saw a look of instant relief spread across her face. It was as though she was finally able to release the fear that had consumed her and lay aside her brave face. That afternoon, as I sat down at the computer, I was overcome with gratitude as I typed the words, "PET scan results are free and clear. No cancer was detected." As I hit the publish post button and pushed back from the desk, I let out a huge sigh of relief. I had dodged a bullet for now. Even though I knew that there would always be the possibility of having to dodge more, it felt so good to be safe for that moment in time. Yes, it was unquestionably the most thankful Thursday ever, but unfortunately, it only calmed the stormy waters for a moment. I was still drifting closer to PTSD land, and one little thankful Thursday was not enough to drop anchor.